Hey everyone, I know some of you have been waiting for this. In the last video I went to Bicester Village with my friend Phil and we did a shopping day out, and for any of you who haven't watched that, I'll link to it below, because if you want to see me just hanging out with my friend, kind of what I randomly do on a day off, then you might be interested. And also at Bicester Village, it's basically a designer outlet and you've got brands like Dior, Prada, Gucci, Balenciaga, Fendi there, and the deals you can get can be 40% off. And what we always do, we go into shops and we try and find out the prices, and then I film them on screen so you can see, and then it just gives you an idea of, if you were to go there, how much you could save. Well, I bought a few things when I was there, and I know I've had lots of you saying, what did you get in the end? So I bought 3 things. One of them is a bag, and I'm so pleased with the prices that I paid for these items. And I also have another hack that I'm going to share with you as to how you can get some more money off certain brands when you go to Bicester Village. So I'm going to start with the lesser exciting things, but things you still might want to see. The first item is from All Saints. My friend was specifically looking, Phil was specifically looking for a leather jacket, but they did have good, the leather jackets for women were good, I will say, and they were 50% off. So a lot of them had been £200, and then they were 100, and they were kind of biker jacket styles, which I really quite like. So any of you who are in the UK who want to pay a visit to Bicester, you might, and if that's your style, then go and have a look in All Saints. But I bought this. Let me zip this up so that you can see it. How much was this? This was originally £89, but it's at Bicester Village for 53. And this is how you can get additional money off. I booked valet, and valet, it's not cheap, but to be honest, the parking at Bicester I find can be quite tight. And I'm selling my car this month. The last thing I want is a dent in the door. So I thought, I'm just gonna pay for valet, and then I don't have to worry about that. Well, it turns out if you pay for valet, which I can't remember if I said is £35, so it's not cheap, but I have my reasons for doing it this month. If you want to do that, you actually get 10% off at the same time. So when I bought this, there was an additional 10% off, and I was really pleased about it. Let me just try this on. It's got Isabel Marant vibes, I really feel, because of the shoulders, and it's got a hood on it as well. Let me zip this up. Obviously I'm wearing it over this top, which is not, you know. Yeah, that's it. And then it's got the hood, and it's a really nice weighted fabric, but I like the fact that it's cropped, and I liked the shoulders on it. So that was, this is one of the things that I bought. The next item that I bought is also clothing, before I show you the bag, and it's from Holland Cooper. I know I had quite a few of you actually from overseas saying in the comments of that last video that you'd never heard of this brand. I think it's like one of those quintessential British brands, to be honest. I don't think they have boutiques anywhere else, but it's kind of, if you watch the vlog, it's kind of like glam puffer jackets, trench coats, knitwear, and some of their stuff's quite equestrian as well. I know they do horsey stuff like jodhpurs, like riding boots, that kind of thing. But this is what I found, and it is this jumper. This is another one that I got a discount on. Now, what was annoying, they didn't have sizes in Holland Cooper. Did they have sizes anyway? They didn't really have, no, they did have sizes, but not in Holland Cooper. And this jumper is meant to be tightly fitted. It's not. I got a medium when I could really have done with a small, but when I tried it on, I thought, well, it doesn't, it's not one of those jumpers that looks like it should fit and it's actually too big. It looks like it could, it looks like this could actually be the fit of it. And on their stuff, it's quite nice. You've got the gold buttons on the shoulder, and actually quite a lot of their jumpers have that. But I got an extra 10% off this. So how much was this even? This was originally £99, but it was then, the Bicester price is 66, and I got 10% off that. So another really good purchase. And the material on this, what is it like cotton or something, feels like wool, viscose and nylon. So, you know, for a jumper like that, I'm pleased with that price that I paid. And their stuff hangs together, their stuff's really good. Now let's talk about the main thing, this bag. Some of you are already going to know what it is. It's from Balenciaga. We were walking past and there was a really big queue. There were lots of queues there on the day that we went. And as I walked past, I saw this bag in the window and it caught my eye enough that I actually stopped walking and I went to look at it, and it was just like the only bag in the window. And later on, after lunch, we kind of came and walked back round and the queue had gone down, and I went in to have a look at it. One of you asked me, do they give you the display items or do they have fresh stock out the back? It depends on the item. Whenever I've bought there, they have got fresh stuff out of the back, and this was actually a fresh bag, and I made sure I checked it all over before I bought it. Sorry, the label's stuck. I love it. This is the Balenciaga Hourglass Bag, but it's designed to look like, it's very soft. It almost feels like paint and leather. It's very soft and it's designed to look like snake skin. It's actually cowhide, designed to look like snake skin. This is the larger size, which they call the small, but this is actually the larger size, which is my favorite size. You know, I told you a while ago I review these bags a lot because I think they're really good, and I reviewed a glitter one and I wish so badly that I kept it. But I returned it because I ordered that and a black one, and I thought, oh, the black one's gonna go with more. But actually I returned it, and then I was like, oh, I wish I'd done the other way round, because the glitter version was so unique and so pretty, and it was almost like a gunmetal as opposed to like bright silver glitter. But when I saw this, although it's bright blue, I thought, I don't care, that's really nice. Now wait until you hear the price. When I saw it in the window, I thought that it was like 2K. But actually the price was 1,890 originally, but when I bought it, it was £1,230, which is a really decent discount, particularly for the larger size. And I've looked these up online. It looks like they were about end of last year or something like that. You can't get them now. They've sold out everywhere. And I also like that on here it's got the matte black hardware. Glad that I finally unboxed it, because I've been wanting to use this bag for a couple of weeks now, and I kept saying to myself, I'm not going to use it until I've unboxed it. So now I've unboxed it, I can go away and use this, and I'm going to transfer my stuff from my other bag into this. And I figured it's the type of, it's like dark enough blue. On there it looks really, really light blue. It's not, it's darker blue than that. I think because I've got all the lighting going on it, it makes it look like turquoise. I guess it is a bit turquoise, but it's a dark turquoise. And it's the kind of thing that I will wear all year round, literally. So that's the haul. Got a couple of other things. The first thing is that we have been, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably already know, but we've been trying out this Land Rover Defender for a while, and I've done like a really, really quick, review on it that I'll show you in 1 second. But I don't know how many of you enjoy these, but I love doing them because it's a way of engaging with you guys. But I'm going to do a quick mail time. One of the letters in particular is from one of you in Switzerland, and I particularly want to read this out because this lady in Switzerland, basically she managed to get an Hermes Kelly without, you know, like loads of background spending, and she's given me bullet points about how she did it. And she's also said to read this out because those of you who want to get one of those bags, this might really help you. And I do think from what she said, I'm not going to say your name because I'm not sure if you want your name read out, but you've basically said you live in Switzerland, you're 31, you're a key account manager for a multinational company, and you're so lovely. You say that you've been following me on Instagram since like the Balmain story, and you've been into it ever since. But you do also talk about the Hermes game, because you said to me, you were like, oh, I know that you wouldn't get an Hermes bag because of the game that you have to play. And I've heard that you've got to spend like £100,000 on stuff before you even get considered. And I think probably that's true, but then I also know loads of you who have written to me who have been able to contradict that by saying, actually, I didn't spend that much. I walked in and I got one. Or I bought a scarf and I got one. So I think it depends on the person, but I have heard roughly that. But the really interesting thing about this letter is that you say that you went into the Lausanne store, which is in Switzerland. You went in there with a friend, you weren't dressed particularly fancy, and you went in there looking at Hermes lipsticks because they were quite new out at the time. And you said the SA that was serving you was so nice. The lipstick colour you wanted wasn't in stock, but she happened to have it. I think personally she owned it. And she went to go and get it out of her, you know, to go and show it to you. And you were like, no, 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 you don't have to. And she was like, no, it's fine, which was really nice of her. And you then said that in 2021, May, you got a big bonus at work and you thought, right, I want to treat myself. So you went to the Hermes store in Zurich, no appointment, you queued due to COVID, but when you were assigned an SA, you just hit it off. Long story short, you kind of bought a few bits and pieces, but then you say, I put a wish list for the Kelly 28 in October 2021. At my local store is where you did it, and you actually got the item in March 2022. It was so quick, got to the store, saw the bag, almost died because of the money I was about to spend, told the SA that I needed a few days to think about it and if he could set it aside to me, took the weekend to think about it, and afterwards decided that you were going to get it. What a gorgeous bag to get. Now, here are the bullet points. Here's how you did it. And this is super interesting. The first thing you've said is when you go into a store, go in there with time so that you're not rushed and that you get to speak to the SA and kind of gel with them. Second point is go in there more than once so that your SA can notice your personal style. Mine has right away noticed that I like more formal or more fashion forward items. And I would actually definitely agree with that point, because it's almost like, if some front of face, front of mind, if you just walk in once, they're more likely to forget about you. If you go in there a few times, it's more like, oh, I recognise that person, oh, they're back again, they must be a sure thing, that kind of thing. You also said, tell the SA what it is that you like and show excitement. Never buy what you don't like. You say that you were offered an Evelyn and declined it because it's just not the right bag for you. And I told my SA I don't have the wow factor from that, and the price point I need to factor in. I need to really like it. So here's the thing. You say that you've been into the London and the Rome stores and that you felt both were quite rude. I can't comment for Rome, and I can only actually comment for Hermes on one occasion in London. When, you know, like the whole belt thing, where I bought like a really cute belt, but it was like a weird purchase, and I kind of found it a bit rude. But you've confirmed the same thing, and I know a lot of people on social media are kind of saying the same thing. I think unless you've got an SA in London that you're really close with, maybe not everyone's going to be the most friendly, I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of what she said. So be enthusiastic, keep front of mind, keep going into the stores. If you want to buy little bits and pieces, trinkets, scarves, jewelry, do it. But if you don't, and if you're doing it because you feel pressured, don't go ahead and buy it. You know, that's money you could be putting towards the bag. And I really feel like it depends what boutique you go into. You were going into boutiques in Switzerland, and you went in Zurich and in Lausanne, and I feel like there must be something going on in Switzerland that make them more helpful, or maybe they're, I don't know, is there less demand for Hermes bag? I'm sure there isn't, but why is it that over there it's more friendly than if you go somewhere like London? And also for any SAs that watch, my feeling is always that you guys have a hard job. I know I talk on here about rude SAs is a thing, sadly, but I would also say that SAs have a hard job and they probably deal with some really rude people, which is why I also always say as well, even though we shouldn't have to know this, but be polite, you know, be friendly, be polite. If you're still not getting somewhere with someone, then change SAs. Maybe they're having a bad day, or maybe that's just them, I don't know. But yeah, so I thought that was quite interesting for any of you interested in Hermes. Then I think I'm going to read out one more And this, I'm not going to name names in any of this because I don't know how, I know some of you want your letters read out, but I don't know if you want your names read out. So you've said, greetings Sophie, I was wandering about in House of Fraser and I discovered this brand called Bieber. I was shocked by the prices and the quality. The price range for ready to wear is about £70 to £300 and the quality is amazing. They also offer full leather bags for about £70 to £200, but the quality is exceptionally good. I also found out that the brand is heavily discounted on the House of Fraser website, mainly kind of between 40 and 60%. I was wondering if you'd be interested in making a video reviewing their pieces and ready to wear and sharing your opinions and views on it. I believe the brand is good for those who want to start their luxury journey, but let me know what your views are. And I wrote back to you because I don't know how many of you know this. It probably only in the UK you would know this, but Bieber's got a really interesting history because as I understand it, Bieber was founded in the 60s and it was a really popular department store and brand with younger people. You could go in there and you could get really cool clothes. And then for some reason, I think it went bust or something, but House of Fraser brought the brand back probably like 15 years ago. It's been a long time, and they've kept the original 1960s logo and they create things that are very much still in keeping with the rough style and silhouettes of the 60s without everything looking like a 1960s items. And the stuff's really good. Actually, behind the camera I have a really nice Bieber holdall, which is really glam, but it's also, shall I show you it? And you can see it's got the original logo on it, but it's also got a monogram. This brand has its own monogram, and it's got wheels on it and a handle that you can pull out and you can pull the case along. I also have, in the drawer behind me, I also have loads of Bieber swimwear, and their stuff is so good. Anyway, I think that's what I'm going to read in terms of mail times today, because I know this could get really long. Now, for any of you interested, I'm now going to show you this Defender, and you can come and hang out if you want to. Hey everyone! I don't know how many of you enjoy these small car reviews. I hope that you do. As a lot of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, cars are a real passion of mine, so I quite enjoy talking about them. Now this has actually been loaned to me. You know how I get loaned cars from time to time by Jaguar and Land Rover? This is a Defender P300 90, so it's the shorter wheelbase option. You can get a larger one, which is like the 110, and they've loaned this to me for a couple of weeks to see what I think of it. As you can see here are some shots of it and what it looks like. This is the HSE version, so you get an HSE is the top of the range version, which basically what that means, you get options on it, such as things like the sunroof, which comes on the HSE without you having to pay extra for it, various other bits and pieces, but I'm going to show you some of the things that I like about it most, and also talk to you about the performance, because it's over 2 tons, this car. And I think the brake horsepower is nearly 300 or 300 brake horsepower, which for a car like this is a lot. It's also 0 to 60 in 6.7 seconds, so pretty quick considering the weight. 2 litre 4-cylinder. It's a great car, and it's also really good on potholes, which in this road is essential. But let me show you this one thing that I think is really cool, that I really like. So on this car you have a camera, and you can see out the front. Can you see here? It's showing me that I'm inside the lines of this car park space, which is really helpful. And then if you click here, it moves the car around, so you can actually see a visual all around the car of where you are at all times. And also this is really good when you're driving down, let's say, a road that's really narrow and you don't want to hit the curb. This is also brilliant for that. And also there's a camera on this that lets you see out the front of the car and out the back of the car, even when you're driving. Where is that actually? Do we know? Do you know where that is, David? David's with me. Do you keep going and then it eventually gets there? So this is the rear camera, and there's also a front one, and you can have either on while you're actually driving along, which is quite cool as well. And the reason as well for the rear camera, actually no, the reason for this, which probably looks to you like a regular rear view mirror, but this is actually a digital display. The reason for that is this particular model comes with a center seat in the front, and you can fold this seat down and there are cup holders in the back of it. Shall I show you how big it is inside? So if we fold it down, you've got cup holders. You can actually spec this. We know someone who's got a fridge in their center compartment. But yeah, this is the rear, and this is a 3-door, so if you get the 110 it's 5-door, and that's how much you can fit in there.